And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
I got a lot of response when I did my review of Puzzle Strike. Puzzle Strike is an entry into the deck building mechanic, except instead of using cards, it used chips. And while I thought the concept for this is neat, it's unlike any other deck building game out there, I was really not for the chips. I thought the chips were a pain in the neck to search through the bag, pull them out, hide them in your hand, play them. They were harder to see. I had a list of problems in which I was told by many people that I was very, very wrong. I'm not. Cards are still better. Chips are cool to throw down, and chips are neat, but it just didn't seem like they worked well. However, this upgrade pack fixes that. This upgrade pack changes that. This is an expansion, kind of, sort of. There's some expansion stuff, but it's an upgrade to the original game, and if you like Puzzle Strike, if you own Puzzle Strike, then you owe it to yourself to get this upgrade pack. Let's take a look at it and see why it's so good. Alright, the first thing this game adds is new mats. These are mouse pad style mats, and they're really nice, and this is a really cool addition to the game. You got 4 of them, and on these mats, you know, you can put down as you're getting the gems, and you put them in that area, and as you're discarding chips, you know, you can stick them in a pile over here, and any ongoing effects can be stuck up there, and it just looks really good. Has that computer game console. One thing I especially like is how down here it tells you how many chips are in front of you, how many that you're drawing, and that's a nice addition to the game, and it also tells you the different phases. This is something really cool. Probably should have been in the original game, I guess, but it doesn't really matter that much, but does matter as much as the next thing, which is the shields for each person. Now this is kind of a cool thing here. 4 gems are uncounter crashable. You know, it tells you something like that. You know, counter crashing a bigger gem sends blowback, and it shows the things. But what's cool is that I can put this in front of me here, and then I can put my chips behind here so that I don't have to hold them in my hand, so that I can look at them and see what I have without worrying about other people. And that's a really nice feature, really important. That makes this a pretty much must-buy expansion. So these are 2 nice things that the game adds, the shield and the mat. But the game doesn't just add those. It adds a few new chips. Let's take a closer look at these new chips that it adds. Anyway, let's see. The first chip we have here is Combinatorix. Whenever the previous opponent plays or buys a combination, you get a combine, you get an extra chip. And you trash this when you play 2 combines in a turn. But it gives you extra chips, and you get to play an extra brown action. That's an interesting one. I haven't really fooled with it too much, but I also like this. Dashing Strike gives you another brown action. You can trash a 1 from your gem pile if you do. The next opponent antes a 1. And that's neat. Just smash one to the next one. A Dashing Strike against the next person. And then the third thing they add is the Custom Combo. Now that's ridiculous. Really? Do you think you're going to need a chip that gives you 15 extra actions? I'm sure someone out there will email me and say, one time I played 15 extra actions. Well, good for you, but I just don't see that happening very often. Now, these 3 chips, unfortunately, do not fit into the thing as much as I want to. I took out all the blanks, and I shoved as many as I could in there, and then I ended up putting the extra ones right like that. And that's it. But if they add any more chips, I don't know what I'm going to have to get rid of this cool insert to the game. Now, another thing that they did in this game is they added character chips. And I'm not saying that they replaced a few of them. They completely overhauled all the characters. This must have been after extensive play testing. I have a couple here to show you. For example, you can see here that this character, the clockwork guy, okay, here the bottom 3 are the new chips. And the top 3 are the old chips. You can see this chip here stayed exactly the same. This, It's Time for the Past, changed here. And this Future Sight changed from drawing 2 and putting a chip from your hand on top of your bag. Here you simply get 2 chips, and then you get to save 2 chips for the next turn. So there's minor changes on those, and one of those stays the same. On the other hand, my favorite character in the game, these were his original chips. And you can see here how they have changed. I mean, he used to have this 2 poker winnings, but now it's jackpot. Reveal 2 chips at random from any opponent's hand. If they're these kind of chips, If they're this, you get to do that. If they're this, you get extra money. That's a neat thing. They also changed the Living on the Edge, which was, to me, the most useful chip, powerful chip, coolest chip in the whole game. But they instead of drawing 4 chips when they have it, now you only draw 3, but you can play any action rather than just a purple action. So I guess fans of the game are going to know about these changes better than I. You know, I'm not really sure exactly how they're all going to work. I haven't played the game enough to know. I didn't think any of the characters were unbalanced. I didn't think that certain chips were problematic, but I am willing to accept that they were and that they were fixed now in this upgrade pack. So that's basically it. The pack comes in this, this is basically what the upgrade pack contains. 4 screens, 4 playmats, 30 new character chips, and 3 new puzzle chips, 5 each. That's what's in the upgrade pack. To me, this is worth it, if only for the mats and the shields alone. But the new character chips and the new action chips, that doesn't hurt and adds a little bit more to the bargain.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.